As you guys can all hear. All right, and I'm going to share my screen. I do have some individuals who are helping me watch the chat. Jen, can you just feel free to unmute if there's anything that I miss?
Yep.
Thank you. So the biggest resource that we have that some of you may be very well acquainted with, some of you not so much, is our Iowa CCR&R website. This website can be found at Iowa spelled out IOWACCRR.org. Jen, can you see my screen? A-okay? Awesome. Just gonna move you over here so when you're nodding, I can see. Okay. So when you pull up our website, iowaccrr.org, I want to point out two pieces to it. First, you're going to see we have a couple of selections at the top. There's a blue band, there's a gray band, and then there's this white band. So every time you take your mouse and scroll over these pieces, you'll be able to click to these links. Our website, and when a lot of times you're talking to your local child care consultant or someone with child care resource and referral, we usually point out pieces that are in the gray pieces or here at the top row, or just in the consistency, the meat of our website. This top portion that is blue, I just want to have you aware that if you go and then let's say you try to do a search, it's going to take you to the iowa.gov website. So if for some reason you're asking your child care consultant about something and they say, well, why don't you search on our website? They may be referring to this piece right here, this little search portion. And sometimes I've worked with providers in the past and that has been a cause of confusion. So I just always want to address that I don't want you to be confused. We are partners and we work and we are contracted with Iowa Department of Human Services. So that is why there's this blue portion up here, of course. But I want you to make sure that if you're searching on our website, you click this search link. And I know we also have on our call today, Bobby, who is our statewide communications specialist. So if there's any pieces in here, Bobby, too, that you feel you want to chime in on and give extra little details to, please do. So when you first come to our homepage, it doesn't matter where you are based here in the state or outside of the state. This website is designed to be utilized for anyone who is looking at Iowa Child Care Resource and Referral. We have certain portions that direct you to our regional pieces, but for the most part, as you all know, with rules and regulations as a child care center or as a home or as a non-registered provider, those rules are applicable across the board depending on what your category or what you are. So that is why this is great that our website it's really state run. And when things are updated and as current as possible, we try to get them on our website. And that's where Bobby, who's actually sitting on our call, that's where she does a fantastic job. If for some reason you ever run into anything on our website that you do not feel is current or maybe has just changed over recently and maybe we have not caught it, you can reach out to myself or any other community development specialist in our state that works for Child Care Resource and Referral. We really appreciate when those pieces are caught. But for the most part, we try to keep as up to date as possible. So on our main webpage, if you scroll down, you'll see that you're starting to explore a plethora of information. We have connections to our media. If you continue to scroll down, we have connections if you're a provider, a family, community, or an employer. We have the most up-to-date and recent guidance on COVID or any other pieces that are coming down from DHS that we believe are important for you to know. A huge piece that we can take a moment to speak about in a little bit is signing up for emails from Ccrnr and Dhs. Those of you who are not already receiving this, I highly recommend that you take a look at this. It's an easy little sign up. You can just click right here and it'll take you right to this sign up page with your email, first name, last name, and your county, and then you just click sign up. It's as simple as that. That will allow you to have those emails, especially when that extra like a COVID guidance or when grants that are coming down the line come through and we want you to know about them, that will come straight to your email. The only catch is if you sign up for them, you have to make sure to go back into that email that you signed up with and you have to make sure that we are not marked as spam. And because sometimes the emails may be coming from DHS or they may be coming from us, you want to make sure to take an extra peek or two that first, I would say month and a half, that, you know, guidance is coming down, to make sure that our messages are going into your inbox and not into your junk. If you have any questions regarding this, or if you are confused that maybe you signed up and you're not receiving them, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to figure that out with you. This is a great resource, and I think especially we learned with COVID just to keep in touch with those changes, because as we know, they sometimes literally do happen overnight. This is a nice way for you to have access to that. The other piece too is if you're ever worried that you're not getting anything, come back to our website, because if it is new and updated guidance, or if it is something that's come down from DHS, we will have that posted right here on our main page. We want to make sure that you always feel that you can come right to our resources and have them available for you. Your local consultant can also help you if you need help navigating that. So if you keep scrolling, you'll see again the COVID-19 resources guidance, the DHS pieces. We have a little bit about ourselves as Child Care Resource and Referral. If you do not know about your local Child Care Resource and Referral consultant, I'll show you that in just a moment where you can find that information. We have a little piece about our parent referrals, and I will in a little bit go into more detail on our family page on that. We have our bulletin board. These are resources and pieces that we think that are very beneficial to you and that come down. Some of them are more recent than others, but a lot of them we feel are current and that they really apply to your daily work. And then at the bottom portion, you can always find our blogs, our news, and more. This is also at the top, but from top to bottom, I just want you to realize that in our webpage, we have a plethora of information. I don't want you to ever feel overwhelmed. So if there's ever a time that you cannot find what you're looking for, please reach out to myself or a local consultant, and we will try to figure out what you're looking for. So I'm going to scroll back to the top. And a handy little thing that we have going on here is depending on whether you're looking from your phone or from the computer, you'll be able to access the different categories that we have on our website when you are a child care provider. So if you are a child care provider and you're coming on and you want to specifically look at something regarding child care providers, you can either go right up to the top and you see on the white portion, once I highlighted providers, it drops down and I have these different options of different types of child care providers. We have child care centers, that would be our center and preschools that are licensed by Department of Human Services. Our child development homes, those are those who are registered with the Department of Human Services, category A, B, C, and C1. We have our child care homes that accept child care assistance. And then we have our child care homes. Both of these last two, they are non-registered. The only difference is that this one is the one that would be the non-registered taking child care assistance, and this one is the one that does not. If you look over to your right portion, the blue, we have quick and easy access to other portions that are on these web pages. But if you're just looking for, let's say you wanted to join a communities of practice peer-to-peer meeting like today, we already have a link ready to go. So you don't have to go into the web page to find that if you're doing this on your desktop. The other thing that you could do if you're a provider looking for this access is you can always scroll down here. And once again, this will get you to the same place if you could press this part for providers. If you have families or if you're a community resource and you have families that may be looking for childcare or looking for information on childcare, for families, this button here, or once again up here, that's where you may want to send them. I'm going to go into this page and go into our communities and then employer page to give you guys a quick little overview of what that looks like. So if I go into our families page, right away, we give the resource of our free referral line. Child Care Resource and Referral has a free service statewide, no income cap for families who are looking for childcare. They can give our parent specialists a call and they can walk through in a little, I would like to say it's kind of like a little interview process of what they're looking for, locations, dates, hours, other specific pieces to a childcare program maybe that they're looking for. And hopefully they'll be able to find a list of providers that meets all of those pieces. And then they're able to send that referral to the parents so they can start their interview process. They don't just leave them with just the provider name and their number. They also do parent education pieces. So how do you look for quality childcare? What is quality childcare? Maybe a parent doesn't really know where to really start. We have wonderful resources for that. One of our best is our guide to choosing quality childcare. This link right here opens right up into our booklet. I'm not going to open that up at this moment because it is a long booklet and I don't want to confuse you, but I want to point out that this booklet, along with others on our website, are also translated into different languages for those different populations here in the state of Iowa that may not speak English or may need to understand it in a different language. We also have, if you scroll down, the option for parents to find their region. And as you can see, Child Care Resource and Referral are mapped here. We are Region 2. And for them to do their free online childcare referrals. I would just put a plug in though for our parent services and say that they are absolutely wonderful, and that sometimes those parents who may need a little extra help figuring out what really does their family need in childcare, that's when talking to a parent specialist is the best, because they're able to ask sometimes those clarifying questions or open up the conversation to figure out maybe what their needs are as a family that possibly they haven't thought about. So first and foremost, always give out our free number. I think that's a great start, but let them know, especially on a weekend, if they're really nervous and they want to get started, or let's say they just don't have the time, they can always come here and they can start it online. We have helpful tips for our families. We break down pieces of safe sleep, our Iowa Quality Rating System, QRS. And of course, we have information here too, especially if you're an agency, to send out about our parent guide brochure and pieces to quality childcare. In the bottom portion, like I said before, always keep scrolling down because we have a lot of great information for you. We have little blips, and this links to our YouTube page regarding choosing quality childcare, and then childcare and how it can make it successful for families. So I never want you to feel that we are ever short on resources. If it's not on our website, we may have it just even housed regionally. If you keep scrolling down as well, another portion that you may be interested in is knowing that here is where, if you have a family interested about childcare assistance, and if they qualify, direct them to our website. You do not need to be an expert on childcare assistance. That is not your main job. So we want you to know that as a resource agency, there is information out there for those parents. They can start here. So if they keep scrolling down, this whole portion here helps them to get connected with where do they go to figure out more about childcare assistance. And then of course, we have at the bottom portion, helpful links for our families. We have any questions in the chat as of right now, Jen? Nope, okay. The next portion that we have is for our communities, and I think our communities and our employers page do have tools on them that are very closely related, but they are targeted more towards communities on one and employers on the other. We're not going to heavily go into these pages because our meeting today is more towards our providers and of course those who are working with our providers. But here you will find different links to pieces about childcare and our economy, different pieces that talk about solutions with childcare, and then of course our community partnerships, the programs that we have tried to create to encourage these, and toolkits with our other partnership organizations such as the Iowa Women's Foundation. Here's our additional resources as well. I'll quickly scan over our employers page so you can just take a look at it. And if any of these resources you ever find you would like more of, let's say you're a child care provider right now on the call and you think some of these may be very beneficial for your board, or if you have a meeting coming up and you would like to present things, let's say to a chamber, city council, reach out to your local child care consultant or myself if you're based here in Region 2, and we can definitely help you to get these. We can mail them off to you, or we at least can get you the electronic version if you're interested in passing them along. Sometimes it's easier for individuals to just be able to give data to back up some of these conversations. And we don't want you to feel that you are all alone on that. Child care resource and referral, a foundation of our work is all on this data piece. So we have resources for that. I'm going to come back to the data as well, but I just wanted you guys to see we have our families page, our communities page, and our employers page. Now I'm going to take a step back and go back to our home page. You can just click our little logo over here and it takes you right back. Of course, there's the home button as well. Let's say you missed a peer-to-peer or an event, or you just want to see some of our media that we have. If you scroll down just a tiny bit on our homepage, you will see that we have a connection right here to our media, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube. Also, right here, you can change the language on our webpage. This is, I think, a wonderful tool, especially if you have a family that you are directing to our webpage. So for instance, if I wanted to change it to, everyone knows here, my husband's Bulgarian, so if I change it to that, voila, our webpage updates automatically to a different language. It's pretty sharp, pretty cool. So don't shy away from using that as a tool if you have someone who does not read in English. I'm going to put a plugin for a cool new special thing that we have going on that is led by our data specialist, Emily. And so I want to go check out her new video for Children's Connection. So all of our videos, when we record them, just like today, you can find them on our YouTube page. So I'm going to come over here with my mouse and click the YouTube link. As soon as I do that, you can see it brings us right to our Iowa CCR&R page on YouTube. Here you have access to all the current videos that we've had. There's a lot. There's a lot of great information in here, and I want you to never feel like you cannot find something. Go explore on our page, or go explore on our YouTube page, contact me, we'll get you there. But like I said, if I just wanted to see Emily's new Children's Connection video, it's right here. So it was just posted 5 hours ago and it's already got a lot of views. So this is, I think, a great little resource for you if you want to pass on information to your staff, if let's say you're a center director, to your parents or your families, if it's something that is regarding a new guidance or change, or let's say it's a piece on quality childcare, or even just for yourself to go back and review if you've not been able to attend something. Same with our Facebook page. So let's say I'm back on our homepage. I want to get to my local Facebook page. I'm just going to click Facebook. And our handy dandy maps come back up. Doesn't matter where you're based in Iowa, CCR&R has got your back here because we have it labeled per our regions. We're going to click Region 2. And voila, we're on our Region 2 Facebook page. I'm not going to log in at this moment, but just so you know, you log on into your Facebook account. Always make sure to like our page, because then if there's any updates or if we go live, it should pop up on your news feed. Some of our pieces on our Facebook page will not be posted or sent out, I should say, will not be emailed out, but it rather be on our Facebook page. For instance, just recently we have opened back up and it's going to stay open, our apparel store. So if you really love those essential childcare t-shirts as a director and you wanted to order them for your staff or for your parents, that link was on our Facebook page. That's why it's so great to like our individual regional Facebook pages. But also, if you, let's say you live in a county that kind of borders two of our regions, like both of the Facebook pages, there is no harm in that. Some of the information will be a little bit different as per region to region, but for the most part, it's all great information regarding our childcare world here in Iowa. All right, any other questions at this time? Okay. So now let's take a look at this top gray band. For our community partners, for business partners, for our centers, our home providers, anyone who is looking for data, this is usually where they go. You're going to go up to this gray bar and you see this lovely little guy right here, data, give it a click, and it will open you up to a lot of different types of data that you can take with you. Our data is updated annually by our wonderful data specialists who collect it And some of them are self-reported, but some of them are just numbers that we know because we work with you. So for instance, here we have our 2020 data sheets. Mind you, these will all be updated. They're usually updated every July. So they're in the process of being updated as we speak. And we have here for Region 2, we have our regional data. And I think two of the most popular pieces of data that are pulled off of this page are our data sheets by county and our 5-year data sheets. And this shows the trends for the past 5 years. These are great, I would say, if you're speaking to your board or to your community, and you want to give some information about what does childcare look like in your county. And I'm going to give you an example. So here we're going to go into our 2020 data sheet by county, and we're going to pull up our Black Hawk County one, since that's where I am right now. So I can either scroll right here and I can pull up, of course, that regional report, but I'm going to scroll by county. I have all my counties here in Region 2. Click Black Hawk, and it's already ready in PDF form for me to print. I can print it in color, nice and pretty, or it doesn't matter. You could do grayscale, black and white. It still should show up just fine. Here we'll have the breakdown of our total populations, the children's ages, what we're looking at for families, especially this percentage here, families with all parents working and children under the age of 6. That's really important for our local leaders when they're trying to process, how is childcare really impacting my local citizens? Then we have the breakdown of our average rates. This is the portion that is self-reported. And I want to right here stress that if you're a provider on this call this year, when you're asked at your complete update what you are charging, this is why this is so important. A lot of times that information is coming from us, and we know it's self-reported. We heavily rely on you to keep that updated. And we want to work with you to keep your rates updated as best as possible. The reason why it's so important to keep those rates updated is because when other childcare providers or when others come into the industry and they say, hey, what's so-and-so charging, or what's so-and-so charging? I mean, we don't know what every single childcare provider is charging, but this is something that we do try to keep so that we can give an average. It's always important, of course, to call around, see what another local childcare provider is charging, or, is it time for us to assess and raise our rates? But if we don't have an average or a kind of a figure to go off of, we don't know where to start. So it's important that we as a whole group, not just as a provider, not just as CCR&R, not just as a community, but working together as a whole childcare community, try to keep these numbers up to date so that we all are basing this on something that's real and that we are able to make decisions then on rates and wages that are reflective of current day. So that's my little spiel there. But when you were asked this year, we are trying better to get those wages and those rates. We really, really appreciate you working with your local consultant and us to get these. So that's that breakdown there. And then it goes into some of our other breakdowns as to how many programs we're looking at, spaces, homes and centers, Department of Ed preschools, things of that sort. Our quality rating system, how many are on the quality rating system, and then broken up by level. And then we can see also too, for those who work with their childcare consultant, that breakdown of our on-site consultation visits and technical assistance. And then up here, you can see this is from our parent specialist. We can see that request by childcare age, excuse me. This is typical. We tend to see a lot of infants that are requested. So you'll see that on a lot of our data sheets if you compare county by county, especially if they're right next to each other. So that's the county data sheet. And if I go back, I can go also to our 5-year trend. This one is very useful, especially for those meetings with community, or even just to see where are we sitting with childcare in your county. So once again, I can go down to Black Hawk. Some of the information is the same as the county data sheet, but the nice piece is you can see the comparison between 2015 and 2020. Of course, now they'll be updated to be reflective of 2021 and 5 years previous. Sometimes the numbers aren't great to see, such as we can see that the total number of programs listed with Child Care Resource and Referral in Black Hawk County decreased by 34% over that period of 5 years. Those aren't wonderful numbers, but those are really important numbers for our local leaders, for our community, and for us to see, because we need to understand if there needs to be a change, you know, where does it start? And so we can see here that if we have less childcare providers listed with childcare resource and referral, you know, where are our childcare providers? Do we have any? How do we gain them? Where is our community input? That's where a lot of these conversations lead. And if you scroll down, the other nice portion is that it does break down the state of Iowa as well. So we can see overall in the state of Iowa, there also was a decrease. So if there's trends occurring, this is also where we can do some comparison. Any questions? Nope. Okay. So I'm going to go back to our homepage, and I think I've talked enough about the data and the provider, families and communities, employers. And I'm going to take a look at the pages as if I were an individual childcare provider. So I'm going to first approach it as if I were a home provider, and I'm going to be a category registered childcare home provider category A. So if I go up to providers, a registered childcare home provider is what we call a child development home. So I'm going to scroll down to child development home. I'm going to click it, and I'll take you to this lovely page. Again, here we're going to have our media. If we ever want to just jump to that, you can change your language. And right away, we try to put some of those really important pieces that you may utilize as a childcare provider on the top. We have our Child Development Home Orientation Guidebook. Some of you are very familiar with this. Some of you not so much. So I'm going to click inside so you can take a look. This guidebook is again in PDF, so it's ready for you to print off if you need to. And it breaks down the overview of different types of categories of childcare, your resources. And some providers like to use this. It also has these little helpful worksheets. So if you do have children are already enrolled, you may want to be able to utilize something like this to plan out your numbers for your childcare. Below it as well, there's other different links to our QRS system, finding your childcare consultant. And one piece that we want to always make sure you understand is here is where we're going to have our rules and regulations for the Department of Human Services. You can click right into, let's say, COM 143, and it'll bring it right up to you. Now, we are not going to take the time to scroll through all of this, but I want you to know it's right here, ready for you to print, and or you can copy the link and send it to anybody who may need it. Below it as well, we have an access right to our Department of Human Services childcare portal. Some of you may use this often, but just know that that link is right there ready to go. And then we jump right into your required forms with DHS, pre-inspection, your checklist. How many of you use a checklist to get ready annually? You have a copy right here in case your childcare consultant, is out of town or something of the sort. Your lead assessment, your pet health exam. If you get a new pet, you need an updated one, here you go. Those pieces that are required for your physical. And of course, then we also have those suggested forms as well. Your local child care resource and referral consultant as a child care provider may have these forms on hand already printed. I would recommend to you first and foremost, always, talk to them. See, hey, do you possibly have this form? Can I pick it up? Can you mail it to me? First check with them, but know that this is right here for you if you need it. One of the main conversations I think that Jen, who's on this call, and Melina, and I'm sure our local consultants from our area offices have all the time, is regarding trainings. I want you to understand that our website is set up so that some of those questions could probably start on our website and possibly be answered there. But we're still here for you. I don't want you to ever think that we're not. But I want you to realize if it's a Sunday night and you want these answers, right away, you may be able to find them on our website. So if you scroll down on your provider page, you'll always run into the trainings. But it's also very much at the top. You see up at the gray bar? That's also an option for you. I'm going to stay on our provider page here, and I'm going to scroll down to trainings. If you need to just go right to your iPower account, your training registry iPower account, you could click this right here, and it will take you there. All right, so I could log in right there. But let's say I have questions about trainings, or maybe what is a certain training, or I just want to start with an overview of, certain core trainings that CCR&R may have. This is great resource for you to check out first. So if you go to our training, we have our suggested trainings, and these little plus signs are meant for you to pop them open. So you can click it, and as you can see, these all are something that you can explore. I'm going to just click, let's say, our ChildNet 3.0. It will ask me to go if I want to go to that page. And if that's something I was trying to do, I click it. And here you have a narrative of what it is, the training credit, and this is also important, who that audience is for. So if I was a child care center staff and I went into this page and then I clicked into ChildNet 3.0, I can read and see that this is not for me. This is just really for our child development homes and our child care homes accepting child care assistance. It's not intended for our child care staff. Below it as well, I can go right to that iPower link. So it all works together. As you can see, once again, there's even resources within our ChildNet portion. I think one of the most exciting pieces that has come out of our childcare training is we've just recently had some very helpful videos that have been created just for you. So I'm going to scroll back to the top, but I want you to take a look on this page real quick. As you can see, everything we were discussing before, from QRS, child care assistance, the COP, all of those pieces, if you keep scrolling, there are wonderful links and resources on those provider pages. But let's say I wanted to go check out some more just training related pieces. I can go up to training. Once again, you can always click that iPower link, but I'm going to scroll down and look at all of these pieces. We have all about our foundational trainings, what they are. You can click into them once again, see how many hours, who their intended audiences are for. This is something for yourself, for your staff to explore. And remember, training is professional development. So if you do have staff, let's say you're a center director listening to this call right now, they should be exploring this. There is no reason why they can't do that on their own. And that's, an easy thing for them. If they have questions, they can contact myself or their local consultant or a training specialist. We would be happy to help. So here on the training page, this is where you're going to find in Region 2, Northeast Iowa, our July through December 2021 calendar of trainings. It's already up and ready to go. If you needed a copy of this, feel free to hop on, click that, and you can print it. If you want to send that off to your staff, go ahead. But it's right here waiting for you. You can always scroll down as well, take a look at the different pieces that we can explore with training. But I want to scroll down to, I think it's such an exciting piece that has just come out, the videos. We have a ton of iPower how-to clips. These were intended so that they would be short, educational, and hopefully would eliminate questions, especially, like I said, those late night, Sunday night questions that you may have. Let's say you want to know, how am I going to find and print my professional development record? Now, you may just go up here and click it, but if you notice, it stays small, right? All you're going to do, I'll pause it, is click YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube, or you can expand it as well. But it's going to take you right to it. So look at that. Right. So I want you to always feel free to go ahead and take a look at these if you have questions regarding trainings. There may just be an iPower video on that.
Steve, if I can just interject a little bit, I've had some center directors that have asked questions about linking their staff to their location. How do I remove staff, update staff? How do I batch enroll staff? This is the place to go to look for that. I can send you the link to that, or you can look it up, and it's much easier for you to understand than it would be for me to type it out in an email to you. So I love these videos. I have watched all of them, and I've watched several of them several times. And so It's a really good place to go. If you have a quick question on that, you can always contact us, but it is a great place to go if you have a question about anything that has to do with iPower.
Yes, thank you. And for those of you who do not know, who may be watching this later, that is Jen Hoddle. She is our Region 2 training specialist. So if she's saying that, you know, it's got to be true. Jen's done a lot of technical assistance with our providers across our region and even our state to help them with this. So this has been a wonderful addition to help eliminate some of those questions. But whether you're a home provider, a center employee, a center director, a non-registered provider who's looking to get into our trainings, you can always feel free to utilize this library of clips. I think it is very, very beneficial. Here, like Jen was saying, linking a role as a center employee. Here's one linking a role as a home provider. If we scroll down here too, viewing your facility reports, all of these pieces are right there. So I never want you to feel that you are lost in the dark. We will figure out the answer for you here at Child Care Resource and Referral. So once again, if you keep scrolling down, it will always take you to more information. These are all on our home pages as well. So you can continue to navigate that way, or you can scroll back to the top. Now, I'm gonna pretend now to be a center director. And we are going to take on a topic that we've been hearing a lot of, and this is one that I was saying at the beginning that may end up being its own peer-to-peer, which yes, it probably will be. And that is staffing and retention and recruitment. So I'm gonna pretend I'm a center director, and so I'm gonna go up to providers, and I'm gonna find where is my button, and mine is right here, it's CCC, Child Care Center. So anyone who is licensed by the Department of Human Services. Not registered if you're licensed, so those centers and preschools. Once again, that handbook, here it is, but for childcare centers. This may be handy if you have board members or if you have individuals who just kind of need a glimpse into licensed childcare. But once again, the handbooks are not, they don't have all the details of the rules and regulations, and they do not have the breakdown of the rules and regulations. So if you are giving out information to your staff to have for rules and regulations, it's not the handbook. You're going to want to scroll down to our COM and to chapter 109. They're right here. And once again, if you click them, they pop on open. As you guys all know who use these, they can be pretty big. This one's 239 pages. It has a lot in it. Great information though. Your staff should either know where this is printed off on location, or they should know where to pull it up. And if they have a phone, maybe they can just have that right on their phone. So you have that piece. And then this is where I have some centers say, well, I didn't see this, Esty. Well, it is a little tricky, but it's right here. Do you see where it says starting a childcare center? This is an easy way to find that retention and recruitment page. You can always scroll up too, and we can figure it out that way. But I think this is probably one of the easiest ways is just go right to the CCC, scroll down, and it's this first little sentence. You can click right to the retention and the recruitment page. You can always search it as well. When you get to our recruitment and retention page, we have what resources we have available at this moment. This is one of those conversations that is constantly evolving and changing. And Child Care Resource and Referral is right there in those conversations. So as information comes, as partnerships are built, as things come down the line, don't be surprised if these pieces will be added, these pages will be changed. We are always in the childcare world, a constant work in progress, just like little children. So I would just say, be ready to see more of this, especially on our retention and recruitment page, and those pieces to help with stabilization of childcare centers. One of our big partnerships that we are really excited about is that, well, let me click into it so you guys can see it, is that with our Iowa Works. So if you guys did not catch that real quick, here in that first paragraph, if I'm looking at doing a job posting, I can click here, but there's other portions on this web page that you can do as well. And when I do that, it takes me right to our employment opportunities page here on our website. Like I said, our website has a lot of stuff, great stuff. You just may not know exactly where it is. That's a-okay. Let me know, or let your local consultant know if you need help finding it. But usually if you have a question or something regarding this stuff, we're gonna get you to it ASAP. So here we can do a job posting through Iowa Works. Let's say I'm a center director. I want to post something. I can go to this job order form, and here I can start filling this out. And when I am finished, it gives you instructions of your next steps. So what you're going to be doing is sending your form, excuse me, to your local Iowa Works office by fax or by email, and then they'll post it there on their website. There's two links here. This first link, and I'm going to click that in just a moment. This first link is going to be able to show you who that local contact is. And then the website here, which I won't go into, but that's going to have that posting. So here I'm going to click our local link, and you can see no matter where you are in the state of Iowa, we're going to try to connect you to your local Iowa Works location. So here in Black Hawk County, I can see there's one based in Waterloo, and they cover the counties of Black Hawk, Bremer, Buchanan, Butler, and Grundy counties. And this is the email address that I would most likely use. So that's for job posting, but there's other pieces to it. So if you're having difficulty maybe writing a job description, we have some resources here that can help. We have sample videos if you're looking to do maybe something on social media for promotion of hiring. We have for a social media sample, and do not hesitate to reach out to your local consultant or myself if you need some help with that too. We can try and help you with that. And then of course, they're gonna have your link to your local child care consultant, which at more towards the end, I'm gonna show you exactly where that is on our staff page. Down here with your job description, these are just some extra little benefits and pieces that you could offer within there. And then, you know, if there's anything here too that you're like, guys, you should post this, or maybe I would encourage you to put this up. This is really working for our childcare. Let your childcare consultant know or myself know, and we'd be happy to pass it on to look at it to putting on our website if it's beneficial for others to use. We are a network, which is why this meeting even exists. We are a network of a childcare community. And so we need to use each other for resources. That's just the way that we know it works best in childcare. So please, if you have something that's working for your center, let us know, because there is probably someone out there that's going to benefit from that as well. All right, so here's some other information pieces that you could utilize, such as for discounts. And then here it goes into recruitment. So finding your staff. Where can you find your staff? Different ideas. Here are some pieces for helping with that hiring process. And then again, posting those jobs. We have another link to that. Are there any questions regarding that Iowa Works partnership and being able to post on our website? Anything, Jen? Nope.
Nothing in the chat box, no.
Okay. So if there's no further questions with those pieces, I just want to go back to our Child Care Center page. And again, like our home provider page that I was showing, if you scroll down, we have those required forms. So if there are multiple individuals that help you get ready for your Department of Human Services visit, or to make sure that you are always in your compliance, DHS compliance, feel free to go on here and you can print off those extra checklists. They're ready to go. Right here we have our checklists, those physical examination reports, and then of course your suggested forms. Those of you who will help put together your emergency preparedness plans, we have a lot of great resources on EP. And you may already have seen some of these, but here's where, of course, your emergency practice drill records, those things, you can click them. Again, it'll ask if you want to open it up. And there it is. Those forms are ready to go. I always highly recommend, if you have any questions regarding forms too, contact your local child care resource and referral consultant. A lot of times here in Region 2, they already have forms ready to go if you're a home provider, or if you're a center, they may already be helping working with a PATS director or with your staff with other pieces. So I do not want you to ever shy away from reaching out to them. Here we break down trainings again for our child care centers. And this is awesome too, is we do have a portion here to update your file as a program. Here we have a whole portion on our QRS. If you're interested in going into here, maybe pulling some wording to maybe describe this to your parents or to boards. Communities of practice, which we're in right now, and of course, other helpful links and resources. So last but not least, I want to show you two more pieces that I think are very important. Sometimes when you're looking for different opportunities, whether it be funding opportunities or whether it be for health and safety, you're going to want to find resources. Well, Child Care Resource and Referral has a whole resource page for you that's more than just our resources. Give it a click and enjoy all of the different links that you can find. We have everything from health and safety. Those of you who have sat on our COP peer-to-peer meetings with Heidi Hatfield, we have connections to their website. We have different things for, let's say, Prepare Iowa, or of course, Department of Human Services, Iowa Women's Foundation, so many things, First Children's Finance. So if you have someone who is looking for additional resources, or if it's yourself, feel free to take a look at this page. You may be finding what you're looking for. The other piece that is so important is if you go up on this gray strip and you click staff, no matter where you are in the state of Iowa, we will get you connected to your local child care resource and referral consultant or office. Here in Region 2, as you can see, we're all broken down by regions. Here in Region 2, we have our main office that is housed here in Waterloo listed. But if you click into Region 2, you can see it will tell you the county served and start breaking down our individual staff members. You can see too, underneath their name and their position, it will say what counties that they represent. And at the bottom portion as well, our local area offices, if you're just looking for the local area office contact. And you can get directions to it. So if there are any questions, we can take them now. We have about 10 minutes left to our hour mark. And I'm not seeing any, so that means you guys are all experts at this. Again, this was to be a very casual conversation, more so about our website for our providers and our staff, because there's a lot on our website, but it's all great information. Does anyone want to share maybe one thing that they utilize on our website? Feel free to put in the chat that they use consistently. You don't have to. Oh, I see. Thank you so much. I didn't know that this website has so much information. I'll be using the data for Grundy County. Awesome. Oh, and Beth said that she didn't realize there was so much there as well. There's just so much. And even as someone who utilizes this, Bobby says the data pages, I would say that because it's constantly updated as well, our website has become my first and foremost thing to check out, because I know that if it's listed on the website, most likely it's going to be the most current, up-to-date, ready for me to print off and give to whoever I need to for that resource. I'm excited for the staff training information. Awesome. Yes, we have seen some really creative ideas with those videos as well. So if you do have a staff meeting, that could be something, since they aren't very long, it could be something during that staff meeting you could pop up on the big screen and you could share with your staff for them to know that it's there as a resource, but then also for them to get that information. But we've had a lot of great feedback on that, on the training piece. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys all for attending who came today. Be on the lookout, those of you who are interested in the staff retention and recruitment piece for centers. I have a gut feeling you're going to be seeing us approaching that topic next month and in months following, maybe even on a smaller local level face-to-face. So just keep posted. Any supervisors or anyone on the call that would like to share anything before we end? Oh, I see Melina said iPower videos are very informational, give step-by-step instructions on how to navigate iPower. I would recommend checking those videos out when it comes to signing up for training. Yes, yes, yes. And Melina is one to know, because she does a lot with our trainings as our Blackhawk training coordinator. All right. Well, please go on our webpage if you haven't done so recently. Make sure you are signed up for our email so you can get those and DHS information that is coming down the line. If you have not liked our Facebook page, now that you know where it is off of our website, I totally expect you to go and like it. No, you, of course, it's your choice, but I really hope you do. We have great things happening in Region 2. We have wonderful little giveaways when we can, and we always want you involved. So on behalf of Child Care Resource and Referral of Northeast Iowa, I want to thank you guys all so much for coming this afternoon and viewing this at a later time. We hope to be a resource for you for all things childcare. Have a good afternoon.